In the last video, I worked through a problem from the textbook of using the residual earnings model to value a company which has not only residual earnings with non-constant growth, but also reaches a point with constant growth, and therefore we need to calculate a horizon value in the future and include that in our valuation. I'm going to use the same information from that problem that I worked in the last video and simply work it in Excel. If you're comfortable with Excel, please feel free to ignore this video. It won't add anything. But this video just takes the slow step-by-step process and puts it into the more efficient process. So the first thing that I'm going to do is calculate the book value per share. We're given earnings per share, dividends per share, and book value per share here. And in order to calculate the book value per share in each year, we're going to take the previous book value per share, add in earnings, and subtract out dividends in order to get the ending book value. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start working towards calculating the residual earnings. I'm going to do this step by step, just like I did when I wrote this out. You might find this to be a little bit redundant or simplistic, but I find that going step by step helps me make sure I'm doing the right steps, and to see if I make any errors to go back and see where I find them. I think it also can help to teach how we're doing this in case somebody is hasn't quite captured the idea of what we're doing just yet. Okay, so we're going to we have our required return R, we're going to multiply this by beginning book value. The current time is 2010, so we are forecasting 2011 through 2015. We're also going to have to keep in mind that after 2015, we are expecting a constant growth rate of 4%. We'll get to that once we need to get to our horizon value. For now, we want to get our beginning book value. What I've just solved for here, this required return times the beginning book value, this is our required earnings per share based on the stocks or the company's expected risk level, anticipated risk level by the shareholder. Next, we are going to take the difference between the earnings per share, I guess I could say EPS, which is just simply this number here. And from that, I want to subtract my required earnings. And include in my formula here that I want to subtract this. In order to get my residual earnings. All right, now I have my residual earnings per share for each year 2011 through 2015. This is the non-constant growth period. Next thing I need to do is find the present value of each one of these residual earnings. In order to do this, I'm going to take the residual earnings and divide by 1.09, our required return. I'm going to copy this over and then change the number of years in each cell that I need to discount. Discount 2 years, 3 years, 4 and 5 years. Next step is to find the sum of the present value of the residual earnings. So this is in the current year 2010. We are looking at, we're going to add to the book value of 2015 the sum of our residual earnings in today's dollar terms, or the present value of those future residual earnings. But we're not finished. We're also told in the problem that after 2015, the company has constant growth of 4% in its residual earnings. So we're going to figure out that horizon value at 2015, the value of the firm if we were to sell the stock at 2015. This is going to be the horizon or continuing or terminal value as of 2015. So we want to take the residual earnings in 2015 and grow them by 1 year, because remember, our numerator is always the next cash flow, or in this case earnings, and then I want to divide that by R minus G. R in this case is 9% and G in this case is 4%. Clearly I could have just written a denominator of 5%. 7061 is the horizon value, but again, this is the horizon value at the end of 2015. We need to bring this into today's dollar terms, so we take the present value of this horizon value. So we take our future value of 7061 and discount that back 5 years to get the present value of the horizon value of 4589. Now we can find the value of the equity equal to the sum of the present value of the horizon value, the present value of the residual earnings, and the current book value per share. And we get a value of equity per share of $77.24. That's it for this video, and this is also it for this week. Expect to see some more videos coming up by Sunday, May 20th, and we will begin Chapter 8 at that time.